It's a nice spring day. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have maybe one more day of rain next week. And we're going to continue to work on teaching the alpacas to ground drive and eventually to pull a cart. I checked with ChatGPT. A pony cart is appropriate. Even though my grasses are covering my roping steer and my pony cart, it is here. But we're quite a ways away from actually hitching them to the cart and going down the rancho's trails. It is wonderful to own your own land, but believe me, this time of year, it is very hard to keep up with the growth on the land so that it works for the way you use your land. I'm going through our training area that we've been using for several years, trying to carefully get to our new training area that we're going to use that's closer to the gates and the gates to the rancho's trails and the big pasture. We have a tacking and a training area. And the boys are already out there. Tavis, the lead trainer, is going to tell them that they're supposed to be going to their new tacking area. Last video, I had an emergency because my new min pin had gotten out and showed up there. And so it was only a couple minutes. We're going to continue now to show you whether or not the boys, Alpha and Beta, understand that they now have a new tacking and training area. And we're going to properly fence it and properly mow it and weed whack it. It looks to me like they're going to the tacking area. Now, did Tavis think ahead and close the gate? I think he did. Okay, but one of the alpacas is confused. You know, if they understand what you want, from my experience, they will try to give you the right answer. Okay, now that's Beta. He's always been a little bit slower in learning, but there's never been anything that we've asked him to do that he didn't eventually do. Now, is he going into the tacking area? Yes, he is, and we're closing the gate. Now, the urban alpaca girl, me, Sonia Sokolow, is going to try to get there through this kind of weed growth, which is very dangerous for an old lady to walk through, is you can't see where you're stepping. The weeds grab your shoes and your ankles. But I don't intend to retire. I know I will someday die, but in the meantime, I want to keep doing what I've been doing, especially for animals. Okay, so we did manage to mow with a push mower I got from Home Depot. A path here near Shed 3. We're going out to the new tacking area. We closed this gate for now. It's the gate to the big pasture, but I opened it at dawn today. I'm going to have to not pay attention to the camera's view for a moment because I want to keep it closed. See, because we're bringing them here to this new training area. And eventually there will be other animals here because we are starting to accept large farm animals at my 20-acre ranch, and we're going to want to bring them here at my 6-acre ranch for access to the trails that I don't have at my 20-acre ranch, which is in Golden Oaks. My 6-acre ranch is in the ranchos near Lake of the Pines. And I have wonderful access to 20 lineal miles of trails here, with 5 gates out from my property. Planned ahead. Wanted to have gates when I put in my perimeter fencing so that we could go out to the trails where no motor vehicles are allowed. Okay, now I'm approaching the tacking area from the back, from the training area side. I usually approach it from the other side, the big pasture side, but I'm trying to show you how we're organized here, how we're planning ahead for more and more animals to save them in my sanctuary. We're putting the, oh, he thinks he's supposed to lay down. Okay, we're putting the goat harness on him. I am going to be ordering an alpaca harness from Tractor Supply. I know they have one. I think I showed it on my last video. I'll be going there, I hope, this week to order it. And so we will be ground driving with the goat harness and with the alpaca harness, both boys, until we're sure they understand what the right answer is. And then we'll bring the pony cart here, store it closer to the training area, and remind them what it feels like to have shafts touching the sides of their bodies. Success, we have one of our cans of tack here now. By the way, the goats are over there. They love to lay in the sun on this side of the house. I'm going to get out of the way as we walk towards the training area. And this weekend I'm hoping we'll get to it. We're going to take these 6-foot panels and install them here. We're first going to paint them, install them so that the training area is completely enclosed by fencing, if we want it to be. Now, is he going to be able to ground drive in this high grass? I think so. We'll see. Here he comes with Alpha, our faster learner. And they totally understand now that when they're here in this tacking area, it's a different routine. But as long as it's a routine, as long as they understand what the right answer is, they're good. Okay? They're wondering, what is he going to ask me to do today? And we are scheduled on the 28th for shearing. And I definitely will be trying to video that. I have a new shearer whose home base is Auburn. Okay, he's feeling the ground driving lines on his right hip, and he's trying to kick them away. Months ago, he was ground driving just fine. But, you know, he's not remembering everything. He doesn't know what the right answer is right now. He's just reacting. He's a prey animal to feelings he doesn't recall. He's looking around. He's been here. He was just grazing here a little while ago. But now he's on a halter and ground driving lines. And he's looking. What is this? Where am I? Where Tavis just went, we're going to have a fence there because his training area will be rectangular, simple-minded, but enclosed in such a way that he doesn't go down a corridor that I don't want him to go down. Okay, can we get him at least to stop kicking out? Prerequisite skills. His tail is wagging. Okay, I think he thinks if he lays down, it's going to be simpler. Okay, we really didn't want him to lay down. Will he get up? Yeah, okay. I wish we had a third person here to hold the halter, but we don't. We still don't. Times are hard. Economy is very iffy, and war with Iran is seemingly going to come here. In other words, the U.S. will be officially at war with Iran. We'll see. Okay, he's saying, okay, I know when I see a tub, all I have to do is stand in it. Yeah. Okay, and that's his water tub. We do have a grazing tub. Okay, you know that black tub out there by the white? Well, let's bring it here. That will be perfect. We'll give them a place to play in a tub that's designed for that kind of a play activity. So we'll be putting it right there, close to the water tub, because you see we've got nearby hoses and water sources to keep it full. Okay, now the challenge today is going to be, will he accept the ground driving lines on his hips without kicking at them or trying to shoo them away with his tail? And I'm trying very hard to keep this video on the scene that we're trying to video. See, he keeps looking. I have neighbors with acres and acres of open pasture. And right beyond those railroad ties is the rancho's trails. And they've been here many times, just grazing, but not with the halter on and with ground driving lines on and somebody asking them to do something. He's looking better. He's looking around, but so far not kicking out. We're going to have panels right there so that we stay in this rectangle. Try to stay in this rectangle, Tavis. That's what an arena is all about. It's got borders. So the livestock animal knows the border. I've told this story before, but I was once on a runaway Morgan in my Santa Cruz arena. Something spooked her, and she just ran and ran and ran. Didn't try to jump the fence or anything, but finally, in her fear of what she was supposedly running away from, she slipped and fell. And I was a young adult, a good rider. I knew it was coming, and I pulled my legs out of the way so that my legs were not broken when she fell. And then she got up, and I got up, and we were okay. Much better, much better. I'll leave it up to you to quit on a good note. Nevertheless, no. And I do have my clicker in my hand, so if I think he's doing well and he can hear my click, I'll click. We always used to cluck with our horses and our cows, so I cluck with my alpacas too. Now, can you picture the pony cart here doing an easy trip around this training area when the grasses are cut and the fencing is in? It might take more than the spring season to do it. I sure hope by summer we'll have been able to do it, and if not, that's okay. We'll just keep trying to do it. And we'll show you on the Urban Alpaca Girl Show. as long as I'm still on this earth and able to participate in this training. This training is very, very important to me. I'm very proud of Alpha and Beta. They've learned so much in the years that they've been here. He's kicking out, kicking out. No, I'm not going to cluck or click with a clicker while he's kicking. Okay, he just needs repetition. And I've said this on my videos many times. I've been a math tutor and I'm a credential math teacher since 1983. Mostly mathematics can be learned with proper repetition. And that was a click. He's heading into his tacking area. Proper repetition as long as prerequisite skill analysis is addressed. Beta, you're next. Tavis will do the same thing with Beta on Wednesday and compare their progress to learning how to ground drive again back here in the training area with the goat harness on. Okay, now he's laying down. He thinks that's the right answer. Good. It's going to be a beautiful day. Remember, my last session was only about 2 minutes because I was standing on the other side of this tacking area, and from the house, my new min pin showed up here. He found a way to get through the fence in the back of the house. So we've since changed that situation, and as far as I can tell, he hasn't found any other ways to get out of the fencing. He just wants to go with me everywhere. If I wake up in the middle of the night and want to go to the bathroom, he goes with me. He was a kennel dog. He's only 8 months old, but he was a kennel dog his entire life. And he really likes being a family dog now. And his name is Thor, T-H-O-R. And one of these days, maybe I'll bring him out here. If I have another person to help. Leash him at first. Or if I trust that he'll stay here and not go investigating out there, if he'll stay here to watch the lesson. You can see we've got waist-high grasses here. They have to be cut. Okay, I'll say that Alpha, because of the kicking out, he gets a B, not an A. I do believe in grades. I'm sorry that the public school system is not using them the way they used to. And as a tutor, until I do have feedback from other people who work with my students on other matters in their life, until I do have feedback that there is follow through with what I've asked the student to do, I won't take on a student and the family and the teachers unless I know I can get feedback on what I've asked them to do before the next lesson. Okay, it's going to be a gorgeous day. I hope you've learned what you wanted to learn by watching this video. And subscribe, leave messages on the YouTube, or email soniasokolow@gmail.com with any questions or comments. Goodbye for now.